North Carolina is getting added to the license plate map today.
But its story really begins in 1907, when license plates first began to be required in some of the state's largest cities. And just 2 years later, in 1909, 99 of North Carolina's 100 counties had adopted some sort of registration ordinance, with the lone holdout, Halifax County, eventually getting on board just a year later. In 1913, though, standardized government-issued plates began to be given to drivers statewide, and while they were initially quite simple and made out of porcelain, they got a bit more decorative in very short order, adopting a stylized state abbreviation that looks like the Tar Heels logo by the end of that decade. Many of North Carolina's license plates in the 1930s contained within the number separator an even smaller number, and while no documentation has survived to show what these numbers actually indicate, most license plate historians figure it probably had something to do with vehicle weight class. And then North Carolina's first license plate slogan, "Drive Safely," came in 1954, and while it was used intermittently for a few years after that, other than First and Freedom popping up around the time of America's bicentennial in 1976, a slogan wasn't consistently found on North Carolina's license plates until 1983. That's when the First in Flight base, nodding to the Wright brothers' connection to the state, and the plate that I'm cutting up, first hit the roads, and it's still around today, making it one of the longest-lived standard-issue plate designs in the entire country. However, it hasn't been without its updates, switching to a 7-character format in the mid-1980s, trying out red letters for a few years in the late 2000s, and launching combined month-year stickers in 2016. And these days, North Carolina also offers 2 other standard license plates alongside the First in Flight option at no extra cost, both of which were launched in the past decade, and as locals know, the Outer Banks also has its own unique registrations, all of which start with OBX. Here's our North Carolina done and placed on the board, and though it was surprisingly difficult to cut up, I'm happy to have our 10th state added to the license plate map, though there's 40 more to go, so let me know in the comments what I should do next.